Alright, y'all know I usually don't do this. Hey, it's Butterfly Goddess, but I do want to show you guys the cards because sometimes I go past the cards so very quickly. I do. But how I read is how I read. So yeah, y'all get an overview, and I am gonna pull another card from another deck. But I just wanted to get this out first. Butterfly Goddess, your spiritual guidance messenger. How we doing today, collective? Y'all get in here. So, collective, I'm being guided to tell you guys that my cats are up in the tree. They're climbing. This is like they're climbing to new heights, and that's what I'm hearing. You are climbing to new heights. Not only that, but when I came outside this morning, is it circadian? I'm gonna put that up there. Had just came out of, was birthed here last night on my chair. Ooh, the things be sticky as shit. Like they're still sticking in my hand. Yeah, so circadian, I don't know. I love them though. I call them baby dragons because one night I was out here and one actually, oh my gosh. Okay, so one actually, what came out. Am I tripping? Are these cards? And oh, okay. Yeah, we got Queen Rising and Healthy Love coming out. Queen Rising and Healthy Love. I'm definitely going to portray that. But I have other cards down here right now, and I feel like this reading is about, being, that you're going to greater heights. Like, you're rising right now. You're healing on the inside. You got the Archangel Raphael, the fourth chakra, which is about self-love, healing all of those. I feel like whoever you are, you've healed. You know what I'm saying? You've healed from past hurts, from past people hurts, and you just got a lot of things coming in. And I think what you're inviting in now is healthy relationships, healthy love, and that's within family. I feel like you're finally inviting in healthy love. You set those boundaries. You're offering, healthy love. You're not no longer accepting just any type of love from family members, friends, or otherwise. You're finally putting up boundaries, and you have your way, okay, your way, and it's meant for you. I think when I say your way, I just mean that you've had to walk away from so many things. You had to walk away from envy. You had to walk away from jealousy. You had to teach a lot of people how you would like to be treated, and you also treat people exactly the way that you would treat yourself. And that's what I'm saying, because you had a lot of people in your energy that really didn't care too much about your boundaries. They weren't healthy, or they aren't healthy, some of them still today, but they weren't healthy in their endeavors, and they had allowed a lot of people to treat them a certain particular way, so they thought that it was okay to do it to you also. But you I want to say you set the stage. You changed the narrative when it came to you. I guess you was like, no, I'm cool on that. You can treat so and so and them over there however you want them to be treated, and however they allow you to treat them. But over here, you're gonna treat me as such. You're gonna treat me as this, or as a queen or a king. Come on, collective, y'all get in here. And as I like to say, I am Butterfly Goddess, your spiritual guidance messengers. Your ancestors, your spirit guides, and your loved ones are in the room. Not only that, but we got the 8/18. Check the numbers out on there. So August 18th, I was going to jump on here and get to talking about, all that diversity thing that was going on, or with the New Agers versus the New Age Christians, I should say, versus, they said a witch, but baby, go to hell. That lady is a high priestess. She's been on here educating people about Christianity versus spirituality, and it's been very controversial. And I feel like whoever you are, though, you came through that type of innuendo, with people in your life. You had people wanted you to choose Christianity over your spirituality, and they put you in a bad headspace where you were indecisive, and you really had to walk away from that community, and it caused you a lot of anxiety. I feel like a lot of people who's ever dealt with any type of religious factors, whether it's Baptist, Pentecostal, Jehovah's Witness, I don't know, there's so many other type of religions that I haven't even explored ever. You know, even with Muslim, you know, there's a lot to learn within all of those different narratives. And honestly, I feel like all of them has some type of covenant to them. Whether we want to acknowledge it exists or not, it's still a covenant. Baby, it could be a covenant. And basically, a lot of it is, I feel like a lot of religions are very controlled. It's very controlled. And believe me, it's written. The control is in the written words. And you have to follow it to a design. And I think that's why spirituality gives a lot of people the influx, because they can't control the narrative. They can't control the person. They can't control your thoughts, your theories. They can't control you. They can't control your mind. And that's, you know, that's a big deal when people can't control you, you know, because people, you know, a lot of the world is, give me a minute, there go my cat coming down the street. I think what I'm trying to say is a lot of people are, you know, are used to being controlled. Their minds have been controlled by their government. Everything that they're informed of and everything, you know, they a little robotic to me, you know, a little. Your belief system is your belief system, and I don't want to have to change your belief system in order for me and you to be cool. If we can't be cool because of what you believe in and what I believe in is two separate things, then you need to go the way and the direction of the people who believe in what you believe in, and that way you all can have a gathering together and enjoy each other's company. So when you have a system that systematically controls you, and you don't really know the history or the reasoning behind it, you read into the Bible, and I believe Miss Jasmine informed us that, you know, this whole, I'm with her with that slave thing, you know, honor your master. I thought God was the master, but you made all these, you let all these other characters into this Bible assume the role of the slave master and enslave a race of people in such a nasty, universal, mastered way, to the point where the belief system has been broken down. And I barely read that Bible. Why? Because there was a few things in there, within the church and within that Bible, that some that I can agree on and some that I don't agree on. And I don't know who the fuck Christianity is, but I'm sure he was gay. Okay, one of my other cats got stuck in the tree. And when I say gay, I'm not saying, I'm saying gay, you know, but at the end of the day, what I really mean is, how is it that you, and it could have been named after Christian, that Columbus dude who really didn't do anything, but man, the history behind all this shit gives me reflexes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very bad taste in my mouth that's acidy that makes me want to just throw up. But at the end of the day, y'all don't even accept people for who they are. But yet, you have the ability to place people in the Bible who truly were gay, and then tell gay people that they're you demonize too many things, and that's Christianity for you. And I'm gonna leave it there, because I know my hearts of hearts just want me to go in on good Christians who do bad shit. But at the end of the day, I think that's why yin and yang came out in my reading, because you have free will. You know, you have free will. You know, it's a call to action, baby. It's a call to action. And if you're going to question my character, you better be willing to dissect yours too. If you're going to question what I practice, then you better question why you are practicing what you are practicing. And you better be able to analyze that bad boy down to a T for me, because, baby, I will dot the I's just like Jasmine and make you understand a different thing that I can really, you know, relatively, we can all relate to something. And church was forced upon me. I didn't choose it. My mother chose it for me. And baby, she ain't even choosing it for herself these days. And she played in both. She dabbled in Jehovah's Witness, and then she dabbled in Baptist, and then she went here and she went there. So believe me, she was in search of something too. All right, get back to the reading. I feel like whoever I'm talking to, collective, you are definitely soaring to your victory right now. I think you finally are victoriously coming outside of an era where you were constantly healing and trying to build loving relationships outside of yourself with people. I'm finding that you're about to reconnect. You're about to reconnect with family. You're about to reconnect with friends that you consider family. And you're about to have this this rise. You know what I'm saying? This rise, because you got to be within yourself. You got to be. You took time out to consider all the factors. You weighed everything, and even though you had to walk away from even jobs, people, places, family, friends, children. You had to walk away from a lot. You gave up a whole community so that you could start building the community in the way that you would see that community. And you built a very beautiful community, if I may say. And this is why you are a queen rising. And this is why you're going to higher heights. This is why things are about to change for you. And yeah, it's going to cause people some anxiety. It's going to cause still some envy. But those are for the people that you're going to not, socialize with anymore. You're not giving them any more of your energy. You're not giving them any more of your power. These are the people who you just, you weren't sent to heal those people. You were sent to heal the person within you, so that the people who is wanting to be in your energy or in your life will start healing themselves because of the frequency that you give off. And believe me when I tell you this, it's about the appreciation that comes when you help people realize that there is things that's within them that do need to be healed, that need to be addressed, that need to be acknowledged. Because 1515, I didn't even realize that was that in my hand. Like I said, 818 is going to be significant, because I believe that's the day that you made the decision to no longer allow people to cause anxiety or friction within your life. You decided to take back your powers and not allow people to decide which road you should go down, or the narrative. So you made a decision. You made a decision. You made a decision not to envy people. You made a decision not to be jealous with people. And these are things that you never were anywhere collective. I feel like these things were happening to you and through you by the people who claimed that they loved you. They were giving you so much anxiety and some type of depression because they did not want to see you pour into yourself. So once you started pouring into yourself, it brought you about a new way of loving. And that is why healthy love is out here. Not only that, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of appreciation given to you. I feel like you're about to be rewarded because of your self-reflection. I feel like there's going to be a new type of life that you're moving into, a new era. As I said, the doors is opening and the financial constraints are over for you, because this is where your ancestors want to see you at. They're longing to see you wealthy. They're longing to see, they've been longing to see. And I think what they're saying is we're no longer waiting on what is and what was meant to be and what has always been. It's just that when they brought it over into your reality, you wasn't ready yet. So now that you are ready to build this new foundation and see this happy new beginning, I would say happy beginning. This beginning is going to place you in places where most people will never ever be able to go by themselves, because they weren't willing to do the work in the healing process, and they weren't able to deny what we call a systematic dysfunctional system. You weren't mind controlled. You were able to come out of any type of dialect, and you was able to abstract between the two and see the difference. In fact, something about you seeing things always and differently throughout life. Like you've always been a seer. You've always had that intuitive sense. Hold on. So sorry. My cats were hiding under the car. And I feel like whoever you are, you're coming out. You're coming back outside. You're coming back online. You're no longer hiding from the community, and you're no longer hiding from, I think you took enough time with doing your self-care and reevaluating your entire situation, your mindset, your mental health, your physical health. I think you finally got to a place where there is no constraints. There's nothing that you won't stand up for yourself. You're going to be standing up for yourself now. You just have these new abilities and gifts, and you're ready to share them abroad, and people are going to recognize you. They're going to see you, and they definitely are going to I feel like you're going to be mesmerizing people. People are mesmerized already, you know, because of the difference. It's like you're aging backwards. You look good. You feel good. You bring about a different type of light and energy within you that's giving. And I feel like people see you as this god or goddess, and they see you. They see that you have a lot to offer and that you bring a lot to the table, and you're bringing some type of stability to this foundation, into this family, into this realm. And you're definitely about to be aligned with a group of like-minded ladies in a community where I feel like you all will have a platform together in which matters would be discussed in the nature of some type of, I think, just your reality, you know, because I feel like you're very versatile, you know what I'm saying? You have such a huge platform coming up situation where I think this invite is going to open doors to not just the spirituality and financial situations. It's definitely bringing about all of them, but I'm seeing it. But as a healer, I feel like it's a healing, it's a very healing, sensual energy, and I think it's going to awaken a community. It's going to awaken these people. It's going to awaken them to, you know, whatever it is that they closed out. You know, some people close out cycles without realizing that they might have closed out their dreams. I know a lot of people get on here and they be like, spirituality is make believe, but in all reality, all of this shit is make believe. Because what's real? And prove to me, how do you know it's real? Because scientists are scientists, and they're scientists for a reason. They're discovering. They're still discovering. Do you hear me? They didn't make any of this shit. They're discovering. So do not give me scientific anything. You tell me, how is it that one thing for you makes sense but not another thing? And yes, two things can be true at the same time, if that's the argument. Some of you guys are definitely going to be meeting with business partners. Some of you guys are going to actually be meeting someone who's going to reconnect with you in love, like a love language, your love life. You know, I see that. I feel like there's going to be respect replaced. They said respect replaced. So before, maybe you had love lives that were very confusing. There was a lot of confusion in there. Like I said, these new relationships aren't going to be confusing. They're going to have new dialect, new levels, new guidance, and it's going to be healthy. And I feel like that whole thing is going to bring about, yeah, a plethora of wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the doors to value. You bring value to the table. You bring value to these conversations. As a matter of fact, it's playing me at the group. So you're bringing, so this whole platform is bringing value, knowledge, wisdom. You know, it's going to be a teaching experience. It's going to be a learning curve for those in your audience. And you're going to awaken a lot of minds. And a lot of minds and hearts are going to open and awaken to some childhood experiences. Some things that they had questioned in their head before they were programmed to believe in just one thing. And like I said, a lot of this stuff that's coming through right now is strictly guided. And if you go back in a video that I made some time ago, it said it was it's in the archives, but you chose spirituality over religion, and it did go viral for quite some times. And I think that the two probably could coincide with each other right now and still make sense. But a lot of people don't realize that we all came here as spiritualists. We weren't Christians before we got here. You weren't even a full vessel before you got here. You're a light being. And that's what needs to make sense, if that makes sense to you. All right, so again, blossoming abundance is coming up. And we got abundance down here like 3 times. Like I said, a windfall of cash, wealth. So a lot of people, you know, are always concerned about their financial gains. And the truth is what it is. Because what this low vibrational place that we live in charges us for shit that's free. They didn't make this stuff. You see what I'm saying? They didn't make this stuff. But here's a lot of information. You got a lot of action. You got a lot of movement. You got a lot of emails, messages, calls coming through is what I'm hearing. And I feel like you're about to be winning. You know what I'm saying? Because whoever you are well balanced in yin and yang. You know how to balance the two. You know, you're very much so, you feel wholesome. You feel at peace with whatever anybody does or say. You don't allow people with aggression to, make you redetermine who you are. Like I said, you're climbing to bigger heights. You're when I say that the doors is open, you might be seeing white birds. You might even see a white and black horse. But what I'm saying is right now, you are climbing to bigger and better heights. You're going to bigger and better places. And you have angels protecting you, guardian angels and loved ones from the other side. As I said before, it's like looking through two crystals at two different times, seeing two different worlds. Whoever you are, you knew what the old world did and why it was destroyed. And it's been more than one world. This is one of those places that will come to pass too, just not right now. We're still out there a ways, but when you left behind the old world, you knew what it was supposed to look like in the new world. So I feel like you are going to be the person who goes into the new world versus this low vibrational plane that we're on right now. I feel like because you left behind a lot of things, you're going to be seeing a lot of fireflies, dragonflies, butterflies. Ooh, clear quartz is definitely significant in this reading, as well as smoky quartz. The number 46 is going to be significant, or the number 10 because it reduces down. But it's saying the thinking man. You might see feathers. You know what I'm saying? Right now we have two feathers, the thinking man. So the thinking man is always a planner, a person who's diverse in their knowledge and their wisdom. I feel like you're going to gain even new knowledge and those new heights, be there where you're going, because people are willing to sit down and have like-minded conversations, or to educate each other in the spirit of knowing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, because a lot of times when we're born into this realm, we come here, we have to seek the knowledge. We have to learn. We have to learn how to, spell the words, read the words, and then put the wordings together, dissect the words so that we can understand them, and then really truly understand them. And then we have to go out into this world and learn some more and more and more about people, about food, about places, how to drive, when to get there, how to go. So like I said, these new heights are taking you places. And this is your time to be there, is what I'm hearing. This is your time, because people need to see someone like you who has duality, who's balanced yin and yang, who's not one-sided and not closed-minded and not programmed, who doesn't need to control the narrative. I feel like you're breezy, like your name should be Breezy. Like, dude, we just go with the flow around here. And when things flow naturally and consecutively, because a lot of people associate one thing with one thing. But like I said, all of it's interconnected, and it'll make sense eventually. I just don't think it should make sense on the other side, because why isn't our heaven here? Our hell is definitely here. All right. Collective, I love y'all. I return your energy to you. Y'all make sure y'all hype my videos, like them, share them, comment. All right, I love y'all. Another day. I'm sorry, but Oracle wants to say hi, and she was just stuck in the tree, and she pushed up off me because I had let her jump from there. Say hi, Oracle. Hi. All right, another day, y'all.
Hit that bass line nice and slow. Ooh, yeah. Talk box singing